Hey everyone, Tony here again. Wanted to do my last video for the week. It's Friday, so happy Friday. Hope you're looking forward to the weekend. Hope you didn't get too wrecked with this market. But yeah, wanted to start off with coronavirus updates. So we broke the 100,000 confirmed infected. We have 3,460 confirmed dead. That sucks. And we have 55, almost 55,900 people that have recovered, allegedly. So, yeah, that's basically the coronavirus update. I mean, basically the same thing I've been talking about since this week and some of that. It's not much has changed except the U.S. has spiked quite a bit. And now we have 270 confirmed infected. I'm sure it's a lot more. 14 confirmed dead, mostly in Washington. And 9 people have fully recovered, allegedly. So yeah, yeah, it sucks. Washington has 12, 13 out of the 14 people, and 1 in California. So yeah, that's basically for coronavirus. That's my downer of the day. And then let me see if this is up to date. Market watch is basically, yeah, just to give you like a brief idea. The Dow's down 1%, S&P 1.7, Nasdaq 1.8. So Dow just logged its longest Friday losing streak, 14 years of coronavirus. Blah blah blah. Yeah, I mean, pretty much the same thing I've been saying all week. And you can see here on the FinViz heat map over here, pretty much everything is in a nice red. Well, I'm sure you're not laughing if you're in on this. But the interesting thing is that there was a nice little rally the last hour of the trading day. So I think that gained about 60 points, I believe. I think it was like a $60 move on the S&P. It went from about 2,900 to 2,970, 2,960, give or take, 2,970. So 70 points. That's pretty sweet. Let's see. Top gainers, most likely medical and biotech. Yep. Showing off. Let me see here. Let's see what the insiders are doing. So we got one inside buyer here for BHB, which is a regional bank. That's interesting. Capital management, we have a 10% owner buying in. Winder? Yeah, I'm always interested to see who's buying during a downtrend, just to give us some ideas for fresh stocks to look at. But that's basically it. I mean, futures, I believe, are also down. Yeah. Well, all the ones that have to do with general equities, but you can see that the VIX, the bonds as expected, and then some of the agricultural ones like lean hogs, the meats, hog, and I think that's it. Yeah, because cattle, feeder, yeah, it's pretty much a down day for the, pretty much all over the place except for gold, platinum, soybean meal, and some of the currencies. But that's basically it. Let's look at the last S&P 500 chart that I had here. So I'm on a daily, not much has changed. So yeah, let me go into like maybe a 4. Actually, let's go into the hour. The hour's going to give us a little bit more of a view here of what happened in the last day or so. I noticed that I don't really go too much into the dailies. I mean the hourlies. But if we draw, I mean, you can see there's a clear downtrend on, since the 4th. So go from here all the way down, pretty much there. And you can see that we have 1 touch, 2 touch. Yeah, we have a wick that went higher, but we have more confirmed touches, and that's what I go by. Get rid of some of these for now. You can see that, yeah, it's more of a of a confirmed downtrend. Now, we had this last wick that broke through, and now it's acting, instead of being resistance, it's acting more like support. But that's just 1 hour, you know. I mean, you can't go too crazy. For the most part, the trend is down, and that's basically what we have to guide ourselves by. So 40. So yeah, really the key here was once we broke this market structure here. So once we had this rally up, down, up, and then break this market structure, so like an M, once you break that level here, usually that's not very nice. Now we got to see what happens here, because this looks like it might try to W, but still a long ways away. It's not the cleanest market structure W, so I would be a little bit, I don't know. We'll see what happens there. We're looking at the hourly, so let me go to a 4 hour. That gives a clear picture of what's going on. So RSI there, if we can continue to bounce off of here, that would be bullish. Hopefully we can kind of try to, and you can see the same thing happen here where we broke this just in line with price. We broke that market structure, so that was yeah, a nice little short play if you were in on it. I mean, there's not much to say. It's, again, I keep saying that the S&P 500 is more of a, at this point, in my opinion, it's just so delicate. People are so emotional and on edge and nervous about the markets and the coronavirus and whatnot. So any news that's going to be not that good is going to bring the market down. Any sort of decent news is going to bring it up. So it's, you know, it's kind of hard to trust not only the S&P 500 but individual stocks especially. So I'm kind of on the sidelines, just seeing what the heck is happening. But there are some things setting up that I've been keeping an eye on. Just keeping an eye out on it. Nothing too crazy. So, anyways, that's S&P 500. Let's look real quick at the what everybody likes, which is like Tesla and Tesla and friends. So we are, let's go back to the daily. Yeah, we're pretty much gapping back and forth. Did I try this on? Yeah, I tried this on a log. So, and I apologize if I sound tired. I am tired. I woke up early and didn't apparently have enough coffee, so I'm running on low energy. So apologies for if I sound like a Debbie Downer. But yeah, let me see. Let's go into the hourly on this. Feels like one of those days where you can kind of like just mess around a little bit. So it's a crap ton of little gaps here and there. So expect these to be filled at some point if we have some bullish news. So yeah, so if we have some bullish news, I would expect us to go up here to the between the 860, give or take, and 890, fill in that gap. And if we go lower, then there's a crap ton of gaps down here. So we have this very clear gap here. So this one, yeah, so on the bearish news, I'd see us coming all the way, and I'm on the hourly, right? Yeah. So any kind of crappy bearish news in the markets, and I expect us to go between these two levels here. And really good news, not only will we fill, well, this right here is bound to fill. We also have this little, when did this happen? This is March 2nd. So yeah, the quickest one to get filled would be here and here. And then once filling those in, then we're looking at these down here. On the downside, on the upside, clearly we have there guess you can go there. So yeah, if you're, I guess we can put these as bearish, downside. We're at 703 now, right? Yeah. So if we have some crappy bearish news next week during the weekend, expect this to get filled. This is the quickest. Let me see how this looks on a 4 hour. Yeah, I can see that happening. On the daily. Yeah, I would suspect that to be the move. So let's go back to the hourly. It's kind of, it's not too unclear. So yeah, so I guess we can continue doing this little sucker here. Oops, I clicked that. I did it. So those are the temporary upsides from my perspective. We are currently at 703, so right around here. Any kind of good news, we're going to likely come up here and touch this gap, fill that in, and then from there on up, we have some room to play. But that's assuming, I mean, this is a longer shot than the downside, in my honest opinion, because we had such a crazy rally on the upside. And then, and with everything that's going on in the market, I'd expect more downside than I would expect upside. So, it doesn't mean jack, because the market's going to do what it wants to do. But hopefully that gives you a little more perspective for those that are interested in Tesla. And I'm just looking at the gaps. I'm not even looking at anything else. I mean, there's more stuff you can do, but I feel like I've talked about it in a couple episodes back to back this week. So could just tune back into those and see how that plays out, or what my view is on some of those. If we do a trend line from up here and stick to a 45, which is my preferred trend line, you can see that we're below it and it's acting as resistance, meaning bearish. So yeah, so we'll see. So everything is pointing towards the downside if we maintain this this price action. If we do break above this trend line, then bullish, and we can hopefully see some of these gaps get filled in. Some of these levels, especially up here, that will be really nice for some of the people that are still long. And if you are, then you should consider taking profits. Not a bad idea. If you have some put options out there and you haven't closed them out and you're in profit, that one's tricky, because I think if I was in a put option for Tesla, I think I would write that sucker down. Depends on your expirations and whatnot. So, but yeah, not financial advice. I'm just kind of talking out of my head here. So let's look at Virgin Galactic just to see it. Yeah, this one looks a little bit more of a Debbie Downer for sure. So that one. So we have a clear downtrend. And yeah, I guess we'll see. Right now we have this downtrend being tested a couple of times, so we might have a breakout. Not a breakout, but break to the side of the trend line. I'm not excited. Can't talk today. Eager, I guess I should say, to see what happens here at this trend line. It's this horizontal. It's already acted as support a few times, and now we have this trend line meeting with this horizontal. So basically acting as kind of a descending triangle. So it's hard to say. My spidey senses tell me this is likely breaking down, but who knows? I mean, again, if we continue having the same kind of news that we're having, then I just see us breaking below this horizontal and then also testing this this horizontal down here, and yeah, we had to see how that plays out. Again, with Virgin Galactic, I kind of said what I had to say in a couple other episodes this week and in previous videos, so check those out. That might give you a better perspective on why I'm saying what I'm saying. But this trend line is actually pretty valid. You can see that it's good there. Once we, I think I had drawn this on the, yeah, so I had drawn this on the log chart, this particular trend line. And let me fix this now to correspond with this. Sort of. So you know what, actually, I'm gonna stick to this one, delete. I'm gonna go back to a non-log chart, delete that, because it's already, what's happened has happened. So now we have to move on. And this is the chart that is currently the most accurate and less messy. Try to keep your charts clean. Just gives everything, gives you like a better perspective. At least for me, it does. So yeah, you have to see, I don't know, if you're still long on this, it's kind of hard to say I mean, I don't know. You have to talk to your financial advisor and tell you what to say. If you are bullish, let me put it that way, we're getting close to that 61.8 level. If you're bullish in Virgin Galactic, it's a good idea only if you're bullish and if you've done your research and if you talk to a professional that has, you know, agreed. The 61.8 is a nice entry point and average dollar in, so just layer some buy entries as you go down. If you're looking at going long into Virgin Galactic, this would be pretty much the right time to do it. We would be looking at your first entry will be around 2050, and then just that would be the, you know, I would put maybe, I don't know, if it was me going into this, again, it's not financial advisor, if you were long on Virgin Galactic, and that's up for debate, you know, you have to look at the fundamentals to see if you agree with the fundamentals and all that good stuff. There's a horizontal here. We have to see what happens there, but maybe another third halfway between the 61.8 and the 78.6, and then another third or so here at the 78.6, or you could just do a third at the 61.8, another third at the 78.6, another third if it breaks down below that, or at the 61.8 target. That's really where I would likely have most of my funds if I was going long, because it looks like that's gonna likely play out. So so yeah, I don't even have a upside on this, to be honest with you. If it did have an upside, I guess we could do just a Fibonacci swing high, swing low, and then shoot for the 61.8 to 78.6. So if this was going to break to the upside, I think it's hard to go with that one, but let's say it was down here. So obviously first target would be, so you would want to see a test of this 38.2, which happens to be the high of this swing low, swing high here. And if we do break above that, then I would assume that we get to the 61.8 here to 33, and then maybe as high as 37. But that's you know, that's a ways away at this point. I honestly, it just doesn't look very good right now. So when you combine the fundamentals with the general market, the downtrend that we see here, it's just, it doesn't look, you know, there's no real bullish reasons that I can see, at least. And everything else is pretty much confirming it. The RSI is pointing down. Everything is kind of a, you know, it's not showing strength. So I'll leave it at that. If you are interested in this, then by all means, look at it. And before doing anything, just make sure you do your research and contact and speak to a professional financial advisor. And they'll tell you what to do, and they'll take a nice little fee, which is fine because they provide a good service. What the heck was I going to put? I should start doing some of these things live. Hopefully some people tune in so they can start suggesting some stocks live. So I guess I'll just do, what would be, I guess Apple is always interesting to look at. So we're on a 4 hour. And pretty much the same thing on the 4 hour. We're testing support at the 200 EMA that we have here. If I added the 20 and the 50 again, we can see that we're kind of playing between the 200 and the 50 at this point. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's everything. It's just so tied into the broader market that is hard to go individual stocks. But just one last one for today: BT, USD, Bitcoin. Let's see what's up with that sucker. So that one's actually had a nice little uptrend. I think I drew this on the daily here. I guess I can let me go into the hourly. See if I can. So it's consolidating up here, so there must be some horizontal supports. We got like a little bit of an order block there. I guess that's what it is. But yes, essentially what we have here is an ascending triangle. And let's see, something on my other screen here. Apologies. Sorry for the downtime. I was trying to see if I could see something a little bit clearer for you guys, but I don't think I have it. No. Sorry, I had pulled up a chart previously, but I don't think I can pull it up in time here. But yeah, basically this is a an ascending triangle here. So, oops. So you can see that we have some. I guess if we go from the bodies down here. Well, I like to go from wicks. Some people hate on wicks. Some people love wicks. Doesn't really matter. But so we're testing the upside here. It looks like, and obviously the more you test a horizontal or any kind of trend line, it's likely to break to the other side. So if we do break above this, if we have enough buying pressure, I suspect that we do break above. We are on the hourly, so it's a little more finicky. But we can see that we're kind of right there. So it just barely broke above that trend line here to the upside on the RSI. And stochastic is actually looking I'm going to say bullish, but it's heading towards bullish. So on the hourly, both stochastic and the RSI are, it's hard for me to say bullish, but it is pretty much bullish. At least it looks like a stronger little bit of a market compared to the standard equities and the S&P. So it looks pretty good so far. This looks like it could. Some people might call this a head and shoulders, inverted head and shoulders. I don't know if you want to call it, but if you did, it would be something like this. So something, I guess you could go here. It's not the cleanest, obviously. You kind of play with this. Maybe some people will go up here. That's kind of a midpoint there. Not very pretty, but you get the point. So yes, and the target of that would be basically this move here, sort of, which more confluence. So we have, so this move here in the bottom of, so basically from 84.05 to this height here of 89.80, give or take, you double it and you basically end up at this horizontal. So more than likely, I would see this happening. Weekends are crazy, so most likely this will happen during the weekend where we head close to 9,500. and that would be interesting. I don't see too much bearishness on it, so we'll see. If that does happen, then there's a very good chance that it'll break above that and test this little box that I drew yesterday, which is between 10 and 10.3, I think 10.3, yeah, 10,300. So we'll see. So first things first, we got to break above this horizontal. If we do, I suspect that we're gonna meet resistance here, and then depending on what happens there during the crazy weekends, if it just busts through this, then we're looking at 10, 10.3. I would expect that would be the case. If not, then we'll see. So right now, traditionally, you'd want to sell or short here on the horizontal, but I don't know if I would want to do that. I guess I would wait to see what happens here with this particular trend line that I drew. If it breaks below it, then yes, I would say that it most likely is going to break down. If it breaks this trend line, then yes, I would expect it to hit back down to this this horizontal here at 8,600. But if we bounce up here, then we're for sure going to be into this horizontal. And then once we're in this above this horizontal, I honestly do think that we're going to hit 9,500 sooner than later. But everything's up in the air, no guarantees, just kind of what I see. And nobody knows the market, so don't go crazy investing without proper risk management. Risk management's everything, everyone. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Apologies for being all drowsy and down and freaking. I think I should do some of these videos earlier, so that way I'm not like falling asleep here for you guys. But yeah, if anybody has any questions, by all means, let me know. Let's look at the 5 minute just to see some fireworks, hopefully. Oh, it's been kind of tame lately. You see the volume bars are pretty low. Oh, that does kind of, volatilities. Usually when you see the volume go that far down and this deep into a ascending triangle or any kind of triangle, then you expect to see fireworks sooner than later. So we'll see. I mean, everything is kind of the whole markets, everything is kind of cray lately. So I don't want to assume that I know what's going to happen. You know what's funny? It's like there's this little mini kind of head and shoulders here as well. Yeah, and if you, again, I don't know if this is the best head and shoulder example, but for giggles, that would give us a breakout north of that horizontal that I was telling you. And if we do that, then I think that 9,500 horizontal touch up there is likely. But again, who knows? We'll see. All right, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this, and let me know if you guys want me to see some. If you guys want me to put something else up, if you guys want me to review anything from crypto to stocks to futures to educational videos to anything. I mean, whatever you guys want to chat about or talk about or discuss, let me know. If you guys like this, please like the video, subscribe if you can, and share it with somebody you think will enjoy it. And that's basically it for now. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.